Salute to you people and welcome back to Numbers Off the Hook. Today we're going to talk about the distributive property and we're going to explain it like this. Let's say we have a rectangle, guys, that looks like this. A big rectangle like this, okay? And this rectangle, it consists of 4 smaller rectangles, okay? This one has a size A, this length here. This is B, this part here is C, and this part here is D. Okay? So this is a big rectangle that consists of 4 smaller rectangles. Right? Now, the question is, what is the area of the big rectangle? What is the area of the big rectangle? There's 2 ways of doing this. One way is just to take this side here. Well, this side here is A plus B, right? And this side here is C plus D. Boom. So the area is this side multiplied by this side, right? So the area should be A plus B times C plus D. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to calculate the area of each rectangle separately. So we can see here that this small rectangle here is A times C, okay? That's this rectangle here. This one here, it's A times D, right? This rectangle here is B times C, right? This guy here, right? That's B times C. And then finally we have this guy here. That's B times D plus B times D. So the area is either A plus B times C plus D or the sum of the area of the small rectangles, which is AC, AD, BC, BD. And now we came up with this expression here. And this is, voila, this is the, what we call the distributive property. Okay. It's pretty cool. Another way you can think of it is we have 2 numbers here, A and B, that we're adding to each other. And then we have 2 other numbers, C and D, that we add to each other. Now, if we want to simplify, what we do is first we multiply this number with this. We get A times C. Okay. Then we take the same A, we're not done with A yet, because there's another number here, and we multiply this with D. We get A times D. Okay. Now we've multiplied A with C, plus we multiplied A with D. We're done with A now. Now we continue with B, and we have here plus B times C, and then we have plus b times d. And you can see that the result is the same. Okay? Now let's do an example. Let's do 2 plus 3 times 3 plus 4. Okay? So we take 2 times, first we multiply with the 3, 2 times 3, and then we take the 2, we multiply with 4, that's 2 times 4, and then we take the 3, we multiply with 3, 3 times 3, and then we take the 3, we multiply with 4, that's 3 times 4. Okay, so we have 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 3 times 3, and 3 times 4. 2 times 3 is equal to 6, 2 times 4 is equal to 8, 3 times 3 is equal to 9, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Okay, so that's 20, and that's 15, so it's 35, right? Another way would be to just calculate what's inside here first. Then we see that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So that's also equal to 35. So that's the distributive law or distributive property. Okay guys, so here I've written down 4 examples that we're going to do where we can use the distributive property. Okay? So in the first example, we're going to start with the a, and we're going to multiply the a with the first number here, which is 2. So that a multiplied with 2, that's equal to 2a. Okay? Now we're done with this. Now we have the a, and we continue to the next number, which is b. So we're going to take a and multiply with b, but that's equal to ab. Okay. Now we're done with the a. We're moving on now to the 2. Here we take first 2 and multiply with the first number, which is 2. That's 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. Okay. Finally, we take 2 and multiply it with b. And that's equal to 2b. And that's the answer. Okay? Now, in the second example, it's quite tricky because here we have a subtraction here. We have a minus sign here. Here it was all positive, right? So in order to use the distributive property, we're going to rewrite this a bit. So instead of writing 2 minus a, we're going to write 2 plus negative a. And then 1 plus b. This 2 minus a is equal to 2 plus negative a. If you don't remember that, please go back to the video where we talked about addition and subtraction and how that works on the number line. This should be absolutely clear to you guys. So now it's okay. Now we can use this, and then we see that we have 2 times 1. We start here, right? That's equal to 2. Plus, we have 2 times b, right? We take this one next, 2 times b. That's equal to 2b. And then we have minus a times 1. We have minus a here times 1. That's equal to minus a. Okay. And then finally we have minus a times b, which is equal to minus a and b. A multiplied with b. Okay? So here it's something that a lot of people make mistakes, is that they make mistakes on the sign. Instead of writing plus, they write minus, or instead of writing minus, they write plus. So here it's very important to be very, very careful here. So let's do the next one. Here we have the same problem. We have a minus sign here that we have to rewrite. So we write it as c plus 1. Okay, this part just carries over. And then we have 1 plus negative a. And now we can use the distributive property. And we take c times 1, that's c. Then we take c times minus a, that's minus a times c. And then plus 1 times 1, that's 1. And then 1 times minus a, that's minus a. 1 times minus a, that's minus a. And that's the answer in this case. Okay? Lastly, here we have the subtraction at both factors, here and here. So here we have to write it as 1 plus negative a times 1 plus negative b. And now we can use this formula again. And then we have 1 times 1, that's 1, right? Are you following me? I took 1 times 1 here, that's 1. And then I take 1 times minus b, that's equal to minus b. And then I take minus a times 1, that's minus a. And then finally we take minus a times minus b. And when we multiply two negative numbers to each other, it becomes positive. That was the cheat code, if you remember. So the cheat code for multiplication. So we have minus a minus b, that's positive ab. And that's the answer. So I hope this is clear. This is not easy. The distributive property, it's really cool, but it's something that you need to practice to really get a hold of it. And then here we learn how to deal with the signs. And this is a very tricky part, and a lot of students, they make a mistake here. So be careful, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, or more importantly, I hope you learned something, and I see you at the next video. Thanks. Wow.